To quickly follow up on the planter boxes, I thank you for all your comments. It seemed to be a divide among people who liked the color scheme and those who didn't like the color scheme. But I think it looks nice. I mean, those are complementary colors that go well together. It's basically, I guess you could put it in the red and blue-ish categories. My absolute favorite color combination is bright blue and bright yellow, like Swedish flag. I love those two colors together. I think they look great on anything. The other thing I noticed about those planters, and my wife noticed this too, is when I set those up there on the deck, how much bigger they looked than they did in the shop. And they looked bigger than I was imagining when I was designing them, but I guess that happens sometimes. Also, a couple people in the comments suggested that instead of filling those with dirt is just to put some pots in there and put flowers in those. And I think that's a great idea. I mean, that's what they do like at Disneyland, you know, where they have the big planters, they'll just have pots in there. And when you get enough annuals in there that are really tightly spaced, and then it just looks like they're all bushing out. I think that's a great look. And I think that'll be a lot easier to deal with than just filling that with dirt. But I don't know, we have to pass that through management. I finally got the template made for the cog puzzle. That's really bright. I don't know if you can see that. It's interlocking puzzle. That's gonna be a separate, it's gonna be a bottle episode to try to save the YouTube channel from utter extinction by creating these daily vlog videos. I try to have a single video now and again that is a standalone video. So that's coming up. This is what the puzzle looks like. I made this years ago, and I took this apart this morning, and I swear I could not figure out how to get it back together again. I had to have Wyatt show me how to do it. So it's actually a pretty challenging puzzle. You can look at it here, it'll look really simple. That drops down in there and over like that. I've had a few weeks now to test out my weight training bench and see how well it works for me. And in general, it works out great. But there's one problem that's cropped up, and that's that the length of this back is just a little bit too long. I made it extra long, longer than normal weight training benches to kind of accommodate my longer size. I thought, well, if I'm gonna make a custom one, I might as well make it custom to myself. And it works out fine in this prone position because, you know, I can position my body wherever I want. So if I wanted to do like tricep extensions, I can easily do them that way. But yesterday, my trainer wanted me to do some dumbbell tricep extensions in an incline position. And here's what happens. In this case, I can't move my butt anywhere other than right here on the seat. So it ends up being that. I can't get any kind of full extension backwards that way. And I don't want to bring my elbows out wide like that. So I thought, well, maybe I could just do them this way. And that's the same problem. So I'm just gonna have to cut this thing down a little bit. I seem to recall making this about 3 inches longer than normal ones, so I'm gonna try that. I'm glad I didn't glue this thing together. I can just take these screws out and I'll be able to cut it on my table saw. Plus, I'll be able to round over that edge on my router table. And you know what else I think I might do? I think I might take a ½ inch off of each side just to narrow it up a little bit. I think it might be a little bit too wide. And if I'm gonna do that, that means I'm gonna have to do it to the seat too. You know, my original thought was just to take my jigsaw and go zhit around there and just be done with it, but no, why not do it right? Part of the problem is with these Bowflex dumbbells. Although they're really handy to have, they don't take up much space, they're just really big and bulky. They're way bigger than regular dumbbells. But you don't need a whole set of dumbbells. I think the first thing I'm gonna do is just shave a ½ inch off of each edge so that these will be 11 inches wide instead of 12. Hope I didn't get too aggressive with that cut and cut too much off. I think it'll be all right. This router table also serves as a laptop stand when I'm working with my trainer. This is the webcam I use, and so what I do is I just clamp it onto here. This is kind of cool. This is a Logitech webcam, but this plugs into my computer, but I can move this around wherever it needs to be so she can see, you know, everything that I'm doing. It's a pretty good system. So I think that the trickiest part of putting this on, at least the first time I did it, to put that back on, was to get those holes lined up. I hope I can find those this time. I might make a little countersink on there to kind of funnel the screw into those. Something like that, so I think I could find those holes a little bit easier. All right, let's see if I can do this. Oh, that's a lot better. And I think I kind of like the 11-inch width instead of the 12-inch. Just that 1 inch seems to make a big difference. Anyways, there's not a lot to this episode. It's a Saturday afternoon. It's hot out today, and it's just not much going on. You know what I did today is I went and I did the online grocery shopping, and you just drive up and then they bring it out to your car, and that worked out really well. So I think I'm gonna just start doing that a lot in the future rather than have to go through that whole mess at the supermarket every week. Anyway, sorry I didn't really have any riveting content today. I know what's gonna happen is after I post this video, after a couple hours, I can look at my analytics and it's gonna say, this view is ranked 10 out of the last 10. And it'll just say on there, like, fewer people like this video than any of your other videos and stuff. YouTube can be pretty harsh. I don't know if you've seen YouTube analytics, but there's like a curve, like, okay, this is how your video usually performs right here. And then they give you a wedge, and then you want your video to be in there. So it says it's performing as usual, which means, it's a boring video. But then you do like some, you know, viral content, and then it's way up here and it says, your video is really taking off. And it has like a little paper airplane icon. But if you post a really sucky video, like say a Halloween video that nobody watches, then it's like way below that. It's flattened the curve there. And it'll just say, fewer of your subscribers watch this than anything else, and it'll be like, it's not attracting non-subscribers. Basically, people hate this video. Oh, YouTube. Remember, bottle episode coming up next. Maybe next, I don't know. Depends on when I can make this thing. I'll see you guys later.